Hello again. There's only 2 rounds left here in the 2013 World Championship Candidates Tournaments. Magnus and Kramnik are they are fighting for the first place in this tournament and the right to challenge world champion Vishinya Anand in a World Championship match. And Magnus lost the last game against, he had a very good standing leading the tournament, but he lost the last game against Vasily Ivanchuk, a long endgame where he was like drawn for most of the time. So it must have been psychologically hard for Magnus to come back, because it was at many points quite an easy draw for him in the endgame against Ivanchuk, but he lost a very, very long game that I also have a video for, of course. And now he's playing Teimour Radjabov, and let's see here. Here I searched the games from this homepage as the best.com, and someone uploaded a photo. It must have been Anastasia, who is Anastasia is known for, she's making these Grishuk Tug Life interviews where she asks Grishuk's question and he's responding in tough ways. So here you can see this is Radjabov here in the foreground, and this is Magnus playing here with the black piece, and in this game against Radjabov. So let's look at the game. So Radjabov plays d4 and Magnus decides to play the Nimsu Indian defense. And this setup here is a nice setup. I saw Jan Gustafsson made a video about this setup, and I think maybe Gustafsson already was Magnus' trainer back here, so he did a lot of analysis in his Chess 24 course, and I had great use of it because I defeated Jan Timman. It's the most famous player that I ever won in a classical game against. So I used this opening Queen C2 and then later G3 to defeat Jan Timman. So Radjabov were playing similar here, but yeah, it wasn't exactly like this. Interesting that he gives up the bishop. Bishop f8 looked quite logical, but of course it's often in the Nimsini you just exchange the bishop for the knight for some reason. So the computer thinks white has clear advantage here with the bishop. Yeah, it looks like white has gotten exactly what he kind of wants from these kind of positions here. He has the bishop pair and like a stable small advantage, but of course black's position is solid. Okay, so the computer didn't like that very much because of knight g4. Yeah, you don't really want to trade that one. You want to put it maybe on b2, but you can't do it now because knight a4 and it gets traded. So correct is apparently a4, and then you can put it here and don't have to worry about that. So let's see what happened in the game. Radjabov played this, and now he didn't move the bishop. It looks kind of right to move the bishop, and otherwise you might lose your advantage maybe if black takes here. But Magnus didn't. He played f5 instead, and actually Radjabov forced him to take the I don't know, I don't like that. It seems like white lost his opening advantage with that, and the computer agrees the game is equal now. Definitely, the opening has definitely gone right for Magnus. The white king side is a little bit weakened here with h2, and this is being shut in. Sometimes e3 could be something that white could try, and black also has very central pieces here. But it's not easy for Magnus, because it could be good for him if he wins here. So he has chance for the world world championship match here. So he does c5, a move that the computer does not like very much. Computer likes to play h5, h4. Yeah, that looks right to weaken that king side. Why is he not playing like that? He wants to go for the computer just wants to go for the attack here. Yeah, white has passive pieces. Yeah, just h4 next, and let's go. Weird that Magnus doesn't do that because he kind of needed to win. So, but he's instead playing a positional move here that the computer doesn't like very much. It looks quite good to weaken white's pawn, but I guess it allows simplification and exchanges here to an equal endgame. Yeah, it would have been more fun for Magnus to go for the kingside attack than this, but let's see what happens. Okay, so white shouldn't have traded. I should have kept the queen. Yeah, it's quite an active queen here. Yeah, probably right to keep the queen, because black has some kind of static positional advantage here, so there is some dangers in the long run. But yeah, the computer is not worried here, says it's fine. And here it looks quite good to take here and play this endgame. This one is on the wrong square, but it still looks quite even here. But of course this also looks fine. Radjabov must have made some kind of a mistake here in the end. It's also quite typical of these candidates tournaments that a player that like Radjabov, who has zero chance to advance to the to get a world championship match, he at this stage of the tournament, because it's just the second last round, and I'm sure he it was at this time it was between Carlsen and Kramnik, so he doesn't fight like 100% like Magnus does. But of course there is FIDE rating points at stake, so he will do as good as he can, of course, but maybe not his absolute best. They're just moving around. Yeah, it's still very drawish. Everything is 0-0 here. So let's see when Radjabov made a blunder that lost him the game. Yeah, this a4 I don't really like. It fixated that pawn on the wrong square. I don't see at all why that was necessary. Okay, so Magnus won that pawn on a5, but it's still equal here. Okay, so this is the decisive mistake here. Losing move. King d4 would be fine, for example. But now he went into a fork that loses him this pawn. He can't take it, obviously, because... Oh, I can't take it. Okay, he never wins back that pawn, yeah. Yeah, that's a clear mistake then. And Magnus doesn't take. Maybe he calculated this and this, but Magnus finds a stronger move here. Like this, and it's quite a very nasty pin here. So he can't take here, and yeah, it's still lost. Even if this won, then okay, and now he managed to trade everything here. And this pawn game is obviously winning with this passer, because when white take that, black will collect the king side. Okay, but this was even worse, because this just lost a piece for nothing, and this is a pure piece up, piece down here, and sure he will win some pawns here, but it should be winning for black with right play here. Yeah, and black Magnus Radjabov resigned and Magnus won. So Magnus, he is but Kramnik also won his game, so they are at the same point before the last game. So the last game will be very interesting here. See you then.